As Nintendo of America once said, nothing feels better than the inside of a cat. Specifically a cat girl. What's up, gamers? Carmen Ryder here to debunk what the cat dragged in. Now, I was planning on releasing a full multi-hour long video about this incident from the start, but in order to address what's being said, I figure I might as well cover this. The moment I heard this video I'm covering was gonna be a thing, I knew it was gonna be dishonest, and I was right. Hell, as soon as the thumbnail came out, it was already hypocritical. How so, judging by a thumbnail? I'll tell you. In a GC that will be mentioned later by Koda, I brought up that someone had their thumbnail for their video on the Septie situation as my profile picture being beat up. The only thing I really found, concerning in somebody's video, and I didn't really watch it, I kind of skimmed through it, and it's nothing. It's somebody talking about the situation while recording a video of their, potted plant. I wish I was joking, but they made the thumbnail. Basically, they took my profile picture and they added, a bunch of bruises and shit. That's the only concerning thing I had.
That's bad. That's bad. I'll agree to that, that's bad.
She says that doing that is bad, right? Yet she put the exact video I was talking about in her public playlist on her channel and made this the thumbnail for her video. See what I mean? Off to a horrible start, as you can see.
Horrible opening.
Also, this was a premiere, so of course the video had a chat. I called out this bit of hypocrisy here, and it got deleted because why confront an argument when you can just delete it? Also, Nil made a message there that was actually neutral, and that got deleted too. Even more horrible start since the video hasn't even started. But hey, now let's get into it.
Figured I should put this at the beginning, since if you watch nothing else, I want people to see this at least. Septie has been through a lot, not only with Carmen, but with a lot of IRL bullshit they will touch on in their section.
Normally I would just skip this, but there's one thing I want to bring up that Kumo said in his video on this situation. Yes, that Kumo. So I'll play the clip here to properly illustrate what I want to bring attention to.
SeptyPaws was repeatedly bullied and dogpiled in Carmen's server to the point where they were threatening to overdose. Carmen accused them of fishing for attention, and later continued to provoke them due to this and other factors.
Hold on, you can't just say due to this and then say and other factors and play it off. Carmen Ryder here was only the straw that broke the camel's back. They weren't fully and completely responsible, but based on how you open the video and the sentiment you will continue to speak in throughout the rest of this video, you actually make this sound so much more on Carmen Ryder than it actually is.
Tried to talk to Carmen about this, but she refused to take any responsibility and refused to apologize to the person who she helped drive to attempt to take their own fucking life.
She helped drive to attempt them into taking their own life. You see, this is a very misleading statement, right? Because the way it is packaged and presented, and the way the sentiment this video goes about addressing this, is that Carmen was encouraging and was responsible for the suicide attempt. You see, and you might think, oh, Kumo's reaching, but I'll just point out these really deceptive practices, these word choices such as Carmen and some other factors, to then depict a more honest depiction, which is still pretty bad faith, being partially responsible for driving that person to that point. Upon your first listen to this video, you likely weren't thinking on your own. You were likely listening to what Koda said in passing, and immediately began forming your stance from a place of emotion. Understandably so for the audience, as this is a very touchy subject, and Neko Koda's entire video actually came from a place of negative emotion, and not the actual desire to try and make things right.
It's always the little things that make you look like a dick. And before you call Kumo a simp for me, Kumo still doesn't like me. He doesn't hate me like he used to, but he very much isn't my friend.
Greetings, my kitty cat comrades, and my last Carmen Ryder video sure did stir up a lot of shit.
I'm so proud of this community.
God, I love it when people engage in targeted harassment. She then goes ahead and explains everything that happened and plays unfunny memes for what is supposed to be very serious, according to her. You already know all this, but I do want to take this time to say one thing. What I did in regards to Septie wasn't okay. I'm not gonna sit here and say that what I did was okay. it wasn't. What I will do is defend myself from what essentially is a collection of one-sided arguments. Now continuing.
A few days after, I uploaded hashtag apologize Carmen Writer, which was a public call to action to try to pressure her to address the fucked up shit she's done. Now, let me be crystal clear. I could have undoubtedly handled the video better. I could have used more screenshots, and I don't think a public call to action was the best idea. And for those wondering, yes, I was trying to copy Mama Max's hashtag pick a side YouTube video. The video was supposed to be over the top. One thing I noticed regarding hashtag pick a side YouTube was, no matter what people had to say about Max, they had to talk about his message.
Yeah, but the difference with Pick a Side and your campaign was that Max's target was a faceless megacorp. YouTube. I am not a faceless megacorp. I know that sounds like me playing the victim, but that is where Coda fails to understand that what she did was targeted harassment. Meanwhile, what Max did wasn't.
Which is why I copied the aesthetic of the video down to using the same music he did. I definitely got people talking, and whether their take was good, bad, or downright dog shit, I like that people were talking about it. I mean, come on. You expected me to name drop prison mate Luke of all people and expect people not to call that out?
Considering how your little dog friend forgave him, yes. The CC lacks object permanency and will gladly help someone who is a shitty person if it means taking down someone they don't like in the moment.
I honestly don't think the video would have been nearly as impactful if it had been calm and well structured.
Of course you'd think that, considering you support political violence.
That being said, however, there are things I regret regarding the video. The call to harassment being the biggest thing.
Yet a few seconds ago you said that it made you proud.
I'll admit, it wasn't the best idea to open that door. When a door is open to a bad action, people will blur the line to do that action whenever they want to, whether or not the bad action is actually warranted. So my opening the door to that wasn't smart. I want to make it absolutely clear here. Do not copy my actions. I got so goddamn lucky here. While I have been told that a few people have made some extremely gross and disrespectful comments, most people did not. And I am so lucky that nobody sent Carmen any death threats or anything.
Yeah, I just got called a groomer and a pedophile. Not a big deal, really. That's sarcasm, by the way.
I'm very much trying to reach out to all the people I name dropped and personally apologize for any comments they may have received. But if you have, and I can't get in touch with you, please show me these comments in case I know the person and can do something about it. Leave the other creators I mentioned alone regarding this. I want my community to be a positive space, and toxicity should not and will not be tolerated.
Yet you made this video.
On that note, I want to thank everyone who spoke up. Whether you criticized me, agreed with me, or just talked about the situation, I appreciate all of it. What happened to Septie? Well, admittedly, they've had some ups and downs with their mental health. They are getting therapy, and myself and others are trying to do what we can to support them. They're also planning on compiling all the info in terms of their experiences with Carmen from day one, which, when it's fully compiled, it'll be linked down there. What happened with Carmen? Did she apologize?
I did, but you didn't accept it because you didn't like how I didn't get on my knees and beg for mercy.
I mean, technically, there was a lot of issues with it. She never brings up the issues with grilling Septie on their issues publicly. She also says that my video made her not want to apologize, which, I'll be honest, is kind of a red flag, as if you truly felt you did wrong, the want to apologize should not go away depending on how you're treated. That shows you want people off your ass, and not that you feel sorry.
Not what I was doing. But given how you handled the situation, basing it all on targeted harassment, wouldn't it be predictable that someone would take that route?
To summarize, my video wasn't great, my actions weren't great, and are not to be repeated. Septie is doing better, and Carmen is, well, it's up in the air given some of the comments she's made. She's made comments that show that she's still tone deaf about this situation. Firstly, she defended a video where someone actively downplayed her actions.
He didn't. His point was that angry mobs are bad. You didn't like it because he lied by omission or some shit. More on that in a bit.
That one being by Ephraim. A friend of mine was driven to attempt suicide due to her actions. I am not exaggerating here.
No, even in the screenshots you showed, Carmen was ignoring and dismissing pre-existing feelings SeptyPaws had. That's not driving someone to suicide.
I can't read.
Ah yes, flashing screenshots on screen with no context. Gotta love taking the Prismate Luke route. Here, I'll show them all here so you can properly read them yourself. As you can see, none of these prove that I drove Septie to suicide. It doesn't prove your point at all. Now I want to say this now, I don't exactly like Ephraim anymore. He's kind of a dick, but you didn't prove your point at all. You have to explain why Ephraim was wrong. But let's be real. This is only included because Septie has a hate boner for Ephraim. Why do they have a hate boner for Ephraim? Because they think the sole reason people think they're a communist or a dictator is because of Ephraim, because of this one line he said in response to Kumo's second video on me.
First off, it's good to see that we have a totalitarian in this video.
Septie, Ephraim can't just say, Septie's totalitarian, and expect everyone to believe it. There has to be a reason for it. And it's because you say things like this. And how you like to tell people to leave the faceless megacorp alone?
How about this community post where she is directly ordering her audience to go and harass the YouTube staff? Because she lost her monetization due to a 9/11 meme, asking them to tweet, email, phone call, and overall relentlessly try to force YouTube to give her partner program back, basically enforcing harassment.
Or how you said this.
But it being immoral is not an opinion, it's an objective fact.
And this.
This law, which you think is nothing more but unnecessary censorship, was born for the same reason that made it illegal to promote hate speech ideologies. And that is because there is an unspoken and unnamed psychological boundary that should not be crossed. The truth is, there are certain things that should remain taboo subjects. Not because we cannot question its basis of reality or because we're too primitive, but because questioning certain things is harmful.
But no, it's because Ephraim said it, and only because Ephraim said it. Moving on.
No, Ephraim, if we read the screenshots I put on screen, Carmen is putting Septie's mental health issues on blast.
After they brought it up publicly themselves.
Septie's too busy sad fishing. We need to teach him to solve his own problems.
Carmen Ryder, are you sure he's not actually suicidal?
You can be depressed but also sad fish. Keep in mind how he argues dishonestly. Oh, now he comes back when I called him out. Now he comes back when he realizes he didn't get the attention he wanted, when his sad boy stuff didn't tug at the heartstrings, and now he's gonna make a paragraph on how Ephraim's so mean, and everyone is just a hug box, and it's not that people just disagree with me, and then he's gonna threaten to overdose again or some shit.
What the hell did you say? You know what, Carmen? Go fuck yourself. Seriously, fuck you. I was alerted to people spreading false info about me. I have also seen what you've been saying about me. You've been treating me as the new Kai White since the very beginning. You've called me a liar when I told you what I'm going through or used it against me. You're calling my depression and what I'm going through a fake, sad-fishing emo fuckfest. You've admitted that you only meet up with me to get services from me, and when you see how doing services is wrongfully getting me into trouble, you don't want to help, but instead saying I'm too busy sad-fishing, and then I have to deal with being slandered alone. You're just like prison mate Luke. You're a living piece of shit. When she first sent me this, I asked Carmen if Septie said anything before she started going off, and she didn't give me anything. This was the first screenshot you said. You didn't add them, sure, but you're still bringing their issues to the public.
They brought their own issues public when they threatened to overdose, which happened days before this.
What did they say before the screenshot? Two wrongs don't make a right.
You're not making any sense.
Okay, before the messages in the screenshot, did they say anything prior to your first message?
Not on that day, no.
Are you always this pathetic?
Not to mention, I make it very clear in my video that my issue with Carmen was putting Septie's issues on blast. Not that she ignored their issues. Not everyone is a therapist, and I know not everyone is going to know how to handle these situations.
Could I have handled it better? Yes, absolutely. Was I the one who put them on blast? No! They did that themselves by saying, I should fucking overdose in my server.
Handle these situations. And if all Carmen did was ignore the issue, I wouldn't be giving her nearly as much shit.
So if someone in my server says, I should fucking overdose, I should just ignore it? Wouldn't that be objectively worse, if not just as bad?
But that's not what she did, and my video makes this clear.
Anyways, my girlfriend was right about you. Go back to coping with your abusive father and try not to call my girlfriend an alcoholic on the way out.
Septie also posted a long comment on Ephraim's video.
I thought Coda told him to go calm himself down. At Ephraim Josine, don't let them ratio you. You didn't do anything wrong.
Now, I could go over our DM conversations here and point out that Carmen's attitude is fucking disgusting. However, let's be charitable and let's throw away all my DMs with her and put that in the past. The day Septie attempted, Carmen was brought into a Discord server called Senate where LioConvoy grilled her on her shit. This will be touched on more throughout the video. Carmen demonstrates in this call that she only cares about her reputation. She keeps insinuating that she's gonna win and expose everybody. Again, this will be touched on later. She uploaded this after the apology, which to me is kinda tasteless.
Well, I wanted to be transparent. Would you rather I not upload it at all?
Especially considering Carmen gives absolutely no indication that she doesn't stand by the statements made in this call.
Would you rather me just say that he's sad fishing and leave it at that?
No, I'd rather you, if you actually cared about this person, pull them aside and say, hey, buddy, you all right? Let's go ahead and talk about this. Put aside whatever asinine internet drama, and I do mean, by all means, internet drama.
Firstly, you're accusing me of being insensitive, but Lyo here is calling someone nearly offing themselves internet drama. Not to sound like Space Guru 5, but someone fucking dying isn't drama. Also, you showcased Coyote Lovely's comment. Firstly, tell Raven Pines to suck a truck from me, okay? Secondly, Coyote Lovely literally defended Puppy-chan. You know, the person who indirectly tried to encourage a minor to draw softcore NSFW. Also, I brought this up because they mentioned it in their temper tantrum, saying I deserve to lose my monetization. Which happened because the imp that you hate flagged my April Fool's meme compilation.
And see if they're okay.
Yes, because me losing my monetization is drama.
You're a fucking asshole.
Both the call and the apology have been unlisted, but will be linked down below for context. Now, for the sake of my next point, let's be charitable and say that Carmen doesn't stand by the statements made. Even though she's given us no reason to think that she doesn't, surely she isn't going to repeat those actions, right? Well, I was brought into a group chat with Carmen at one point, and I want to touch on two things that were said. The first situation arises when I question the sincerity of Carmen's apology due to her defense of Ephraim's video.
You can make your situation better or worse. I can tell you're leaning towards worse so far. Fuck up once more and break the terms Nil told you, and it's no more Miss Nice, Carmen.
Wanna know what those terms were and how said terms came to be? Well, before this, in my server, I mildly talked about Septie. But wait, isn't Septie banned? Yeah, they were. They were spying with an alt on my server. Under this account, they named Shy. This is how they got all these screenshots. Anyways, they began trying to add one of my mods, and when he blocked them, they added him again on an alt. And then tried again on another alt, which really stressed them out. The plan was that I admit my wrongdoings in a video after Septie makes their own video, and take a year-long break. In return, Septie promised to get better. Seeing the long angry comment on Ephraim's video led me to believe that Septie isn't getting better, and thus not hold up their end of the deal. So, reasonably, I was a little peeved. Especially since these were plans that Septie themselves set.
Or Miss Nice, Carmen. I'm not gonna let you beat me down. I'm willing to work things out peacefully, and I will apologize to Septie no matter what, but you're gonna need to hold up your end of the deal unless you want to make things worse for you.
Are you upset that I'm questioning the sincerity of your apology at this point? I saw what you said regarding Ephraim's video, which even he admits isn't good.
Yeah, he did admit this later on. However, it only happened after Lyo got him in a call, which leads me to believe that Lyo put him in the same hot seat I was in.
I don't want you to give an apology because you want people off your ass. I want you to legit know what you did wrong and to do better. If you really want shit to end peacefully, it's really on you at this point. I want to see legit change, and I want to see that you know you fucked up and you are actively trying to do better. Given some comments I've seen, I have good reason to doubt the sincerity. I really don't care if by the end of this, if you and your fanbase love or hate me. The point is I want to get you to do better. And defending videos like Ephraim's where he paints you as a victim and paints you as though you did nothing wrong doesn't tell me you know you fucked up. It tells me you told me that to get me to shut up. I'm not a fucking idiot, Carmen, and I'd appreciate it if I wasn't treated like one.
I don't give a fuck about you not liking Ephraim. The point is, Septie's comment proves to me he's not holding his end of the deal. Even Nil brought up that anytime anyone slightly gives me some benefit of the doubt, they get ratioed to all hell.
Are we the baddies?
See, the mob mentality says you're 100% in the wrong, so that means you're 100% in the wrong, because the angry mob said so.
Meanwhile, your supporters can say whatever the fuck they want. Point is, I'm noticing things that are sus about this operation. Ephraim literally just said that anchor mobs are bad. That's it. He never said I was in the right, because I'm not. But I'm not willing to take every single lashing because I fucked up. I haven't flagged your video on the situation now, have I? Let's keep it that way by trying to handle this stuff properly. Because it's not a false flag. You admitted you broke TOS, and Kumo has proof. I'm not stupid either. Don't make things worse for yourself.
Carmen's reaction is to threaten to flag down my video. The problem with this is Carmen knew I was planning to enlist it anyway when she made a proper apology.
That is true. I will admit, me threatening to flag Coda's video was wrong.
I told her such in VC, and I've been very vocal about my intent to make a follow-up. However, instead of asking me to take down the video sooner, which, truth be told, I likely would have done if she asked me and we came to an agreement. No. Her first instinct was to try and pressure me into deleting it. This caused me to private it considering I didn't want her to fuck over my channel. We then had a back and forth argument, which really isn't important. She continually tries to downplay Ephraim's actions and even tries to paint herself as the victim at one point. Point is, Ephraim left out key details and you supported that.
Who fucking cares?
Oh god, why are you arguing this? Even Ephraim agrees with me here. I gotta go back to work, we can call later. Pussy! I have work!
The call's gonna be recorded when it happens, or else the call won't happen at all.
Once I have the time to upload it, the call will be available in the description in an unlisted video.
Fine. And if you yell or try to be unreasonable, the call is over, and the fist comes down. I work 4 to 9 p.m. today, my time. Also, this is literally the fucking meme, not gonna lie.
Get out and shut the fuck up!
Ah yes, someone questioning the sincerity of your apology is way worse than you shitting on a suicidal person, you fucking moron.
Well, yes, what I did was bad. All Septie got was pats on the back and support, with only 1 or 2 or 3 people criticizing them without consequence. I, on the other hand, had a police report filed on me.
Now, let's talk about the second situation. For those who don't know, there was a minor named Flu/Bella in Carmen's Discord server who was sending unsolicited CP to people. Don't worry, this will be touched on later. The important thing to note is, I never really talked about this. The claims were heavy, and frankly, it wasn't something I was mentally prepared to tackle. One person called Carmen a groomer, and LioConvoy, who was the person who originally brought these issues to light, shut that down real quick.
Barely. I still had people come to me calling me a groomer and saying shit like, I allowed it to happen. Frankly, this shouldn't have even been brought up at all. Let me explain this situation more in depth, since Lyo does a shit job at doing that. Unfortunately, as to not make my eyes bleed, I can't prove a lot of what's being said. Now, Lunatic is planning on making a video on the stuff with Bella in more depth, but I'm going to go into her history with me and my fanbase. So, Bella was a person who joined my server at some point and seemed pretty normal on the surface. One day, when I still didn't really know her, she DM'd me and asked me about, wanting to visit me IRL. I asked her how old she was. She said she was 15. Obviously, I told her no, as even if it's for completely safe for work reasons, a 22-year-old meeting up with a 15-year-old is very creepy. She thankfully accepted this as an answer. Now, when I say this, I don't mean to sound like an egotist, but at first I just figured that this was just a fan wanting to meet up with an idol of theirs. You know, teenager shit. Eventually, after some time, I found out that Bella's parents were actually super rich and, pimped her out to Maps IRL. And that she was often in online map communities, as she talked about her negative experiences from those communities in my server. And apparently because of her super rich parents, the police can't do shit. At that point, I knew why Bella wanted to visit me IRL. She wanted to get away from the maps and pedophiles getting services from her. And a lot of the online interactions happened on Discord. As a result, Nil and Edge forced Bella to leave all of the map Discord she was in, block all the pedos who interacted with her, and give their IDs and ads to him in order to report them to the police and cyber tips in a video call. Everyone in my server who was active there wanted Bella to get better and to get away from the sex work shit. And I did my part too. Want to know who made her stills for her videos? Me. Want to know why? Because I wanted to give her some sort of creative outlet so she didn't have to do sex work. Since she already liked my commentaries and had her own channel, I figured she could do YouTube instead of sex work. And her commentaries were actually good. So good, in fact, I gave her a shout out. She did have a few mental hiccups, but they didn't cause problems for the server. What I'm trying to say is that Lyo actively omitted details about my history with Bella. Bella wasn't some random horny teenager who sent nudes to people every other week to get a quick fix. She was a person who was in a terrible position IRL and online, and someone I had to do my best to point in the right direction. The way I saw it is that it was either she stayed in my server and was around people who wanted her to get better, or she'd just go back to those map circles and get worse. Unfortunately, my message fell upon deaf ears since, well, the incident with her unsolicited pictures happened. Now you may ask why it took a bit for me to respond. Not only was I at work, but when I'm at work, I use my headphones. And because of this, I need to keep my ringer off. So I don't know what's going on until I look at my phone. Yeah, I had to open that message at work. To think someone walking behind me could have put me in deep shit. I blocked Bella in that moment, and I was going to ban her there and then, but FPS did it for me, as seen here. And here's the audit log. She has since changed her Discord tag, but it is indeed her. Now Lyo also wants to die on this hill that I failed to report it, so much so that he filed a police report against me for failing to report CP. Two things. One, the reason I didn't do it was because Call Me Nil was already reporting Bella to authorities, as he found her IRL name attached to her Steam, and I figured reporting it when Nil was already doing it would be unnecessarily redundant. 2. From a legal standpoint, what Bella sent me wasn't CP. Don't get me wrong, the photo of her is on a moral level CP, but legally speaking, it's not. It was a picture of her from the neck down in her panties. Ugh. Don't get me wrong, what Bella did was gross and disgusting and just as bad as CP in my opinion, but on a purely legal level, her actions didn't fall under the legal definition of CP. That second part wasn't really an explanation of why I didn't report it. I'm just letting the few of you who care know that I'm not going to jail.
Quick. Carmen came to me asking if I was going to make a statement on it, and I tried telling her no. My excuse at the time was I was skeptical of both sides. Side note, I hadn't seen all the screenshots yet, and two sides were feeding me info on a situation I wasn't mentally prepared to handle, so I kinda tried to stay neutral for the time being, but as we'll see later, yeah, Carmen's 1000% in the wrong.
It was because of Lyo's poor wording that led people to believe that I allowed it to happen. That's the issue I took.
1000% in the wrong.
You need to make a statement on this. One of my fans received this DM.
This is something to bring up with Lyo. I never pushed any CP claims. Like, obviously I'm making my follow-up, but I don't know how that's gonna affect the CP claims. Like I said, those are super heavy, and both sides have showed me things that make me skeptical.
What other factors are there?
I simply do not feel comfortable putting my weight into either side of this. It's not that I think you're a groomer or anything, I simply feel that these claims are heavy and I don't want to throw my weight into that.
Yeah, I don't buy that. Making a Twitter post saying, hey, Carmen Ryder didn't actually allow this to happen, she was at work at the time, also she's not a groomer, bye, isn't putting your weight into anything. It's not hard to say all of that in a single post or thread. Especially when you made an entire thread dedicated to my video on Tommy NFG, of all things, which implied that I was a pedophile, because I made a comment saying that if you are 18, you are an adult, no exceptions, which is an objective fact. Was that not putting your weight into something?
Boy, if you wish.
Why can't you talk to him to make the statement? You know I don't trust him.
I can add on here if you like. My words have a lot of weight here. This isn't an open as shut as a 4K screenshot of you publicly shaming Septie's mental health. Lyo was asking for evidence of you being called a groomer by him or something.
Talking to Nil, is this not enough? Didn't you say yourself Lyo started it?
That person didn't call you a groomer, neither did Lyo.
He still made me look like one. Again, lying by omission.
Neither did Lyo.
You still need to make a statement.
I am not responsible for Lyo's accusation.
Yet somehow I'm responsible for my fans according to Septie in a video that you were in.
Accusation.
You or him. Remember, if this deal doesn't go smoothly, we're gonna have problems. I told you this.
Whoa, calm down, Jamal. Don't pull out the 9.
So she wanted me to ask Lyo to make a statement. So I did. I gave Lyo the context of the convo and told him to do as he saw fit.
I'm gonna be defending myself. You made everything worse.
Okay.
Take note on how she doesn't even seem to feel bad for making things worse. She didn't give a, no, don't do it, or a, I'm sorry, I'll fix it, or a, please don't. She gave a lol-k and posted a meme of her saying, I'm in danger. It's almost as if you know you're in the wrong.
Okay. I never accused you of grooming Carmen. In fact, I had to correct @LovelyLena B with @YoPalGal's help on that.
Yeah, after I helped Lena with the Prismate Luke situation, I guess this is how she repays me. But hey, for someone you called a groomer, you did say I had nice boobies. But I guess playing with my boobs doesn't benefit you now anymore, now does it?
But these screenshots are not calling you one, nor did my original post. You had said someone in your server had set that out, and that's a fact.
This is what I mean by the language that Lyo uses. I had someone send it out makes it sound like I 100% endorsed it. You never said it, but you very much implied it. You did the Daft Pina thing. I didn't call you racist, I just said you seemed like one. I didn't call you a groomer, I just said that you had someone send CP into your server.
But since you wanted an announcement, there it is. But let's talk about how you threatened Neko Koda's video with a false strike.
Which I admitted was wrong of me. But I guess I'm sorry's only work when someone you like does it.
Neko Koda's video with a false strike. Or, hey, we could talk about you having kids in your server while being a lolicon.
Yeah. And? Oh, right, I forgot to mention, Lyo is an anti-lolly. And we all know how anti-lollies are the most law-abiding citizens. Right?
In May, Dr. Pizza was arrested by the FBI for federal child sex crimes. According to charges filed in the Southern District of New York, Dr. Pizza connected with an undercover FBI agent through a website called Kink D. The agent was posing as the mother of a 9-year-old boy and a 7-year-old girl. Dr. Pizza reached out to the post and started suggesting that he should meet the children for sexual acts. The text messages Dr. Pizza sent are highly disturbing, and in them, he also claimed he was currently engaged in a sexual relationship with an 11-year-old girl.
First at 10 tonight, images of naked children on his phone and laptop, some of them as young as 4 years old.
That's what police say they found inside this Monroe County man's home. Officers arrested 32-year-old Christopher Goldberg this morning in Tobyhanna. He lives in the private residential community of Pocono Country Place. He faces 64 felony charges. Detectives say they tracked him down after noticing that somebody downloaded and shared child porn on a peer-to-peer file sharing network back in April. Investigators say they found 53 pictures and 1 video on Goldberg's phone. He is now in jail on $100,000 bail and is back in court on July 12th.
This also marked a growing frustration with the UN as a whole. People began asking how they have the nerve to morally and legally condemn fictional content produced in various countries. Meanwhile, their own peacekeepers are roaming the most vulnerable parts of the globe, abusing women and children in massive, systematic scales.
But I can confirm that almost everything has been confirmed by him already, so that's why I'm confident in the validity of their words, because he had already confirmed it. I'll leave the full thread down below for you to read, but the main parts are that he is said to have assaulted someone and sent pictures of himself to a minor that are of a sexual nature. Both of these things are, needless to say, awful to do to anyone.
Alright, sorry I'm re-uploading this, but I'm going to tell you guys what to do about stuff like this and accounts that are talking about underage characters. Yes, they are drawings, but they're still underage. So what you're going to do is go to this website, which is the FBI.gov, and that's the website that will lead you to I would like to submit a tip or report a threat.
So as you might have noticed, the name Jace Tangler is a very unique one. In fact, tools like this suggest that there is only one Jace Tangler in the entire United States, where oddly enough, if you search that name, you find an ongoing criminal case in the state of Washington where a Jace Tangler is the defendant. What kind of case, you ask? It's a sexual assault protection case, one that is ongoing and has had enough evidence to award the alleged victim with multiple temporary restraining orders against Mr. Tangler. Now, of course, we don't have 100% confirmation, but the fact that this involves such a unique name raises eyebrows. And if this isn't him, it's something he should be easily able to prove, like if he lives in another state, for example. But further circumstantial evidence of this connection can be found in his reaction to this case when it was brought up on social media. Jace had 2 Twitter accounts listed in his link tree. One, of course, contains sexual imagery of underage anime characters in its likes, which is CP by his own standards, but shortly after users confronted him with the legal case, literally minutes later he deactivated both of these accounts. And then after that, users started confronting him on his original TikTok about the case, where he then deleted that as well. But the drama leading up to this video begins with a post by the VTuber Kirana Yonome, a post asking Twitter users to make a very important decision. But in all seriousness, VTubers making lewder content is nothing new. In fact, the vast majority of VTubers incorporate it in varying amounts. Because after all, the men and women behind these VTuber models are primarily adults, and it's kind of expected that adults will make adult jokes and posts from time to time, and the fact that they do it from behind a fictional character makes absolutely no difference. However, Sister Emmy does not agree with this string of logic. On her not-so-subtle alt account, she made this tweet asking if Kirana's tweet is pedobait, a question she answers herself by stating in a reply that, yeah, it is. Even adding this comment from her main account stating, I thought the idea was cute, I like the Tiger Girl model, but then I saw that they were lewd posting and the underdeveloped breast model was a bit too effing much for me. Their comments all seem to point out how short they are / constantly pointing out size. And perhaps feeling a bit cocky following the feedback from her echo chamber, she continued on her main account posting this. There's a full community of people out there dressing up in lolly / short / underdeveloped breast and pre-pubatory trait VTuber models, and I find it really interesting that some of them will tweet things like, I'm not a lolly, in attempts to continue lewd posting as a child avatar. But if that wasn't enough, in 2020, she had the nerve to accuse her ex-boyfriend of being racist, where he then posted a series of videos documenting a confrontation with her inside their home to give the world a sense of what she is really like.
Now, I'm gonna have to compress these for YouTube, so if you want full access to the clips, you can find them linked in the description. So I'm gonna have to skip the first video, mainly because YouTube rules might be an issue, but to sum it up for context, the ex-boyfriend and Emmy share an apartment. He came home to find her dog urinating on the floor because she had left it alone all day while she was out protesting. The dog continues urinating on the floor throughout the video. The floor is much like the apartment, extremely filthy and run down, and I'm no veterinarian, but the dog doesn't look like it's in the best shape.
What's up? Hey, how's it going? Good. Are you Jeff? Hey, what's up, Jeff? How's it going? Doing good. Who you out here to meet tonight, Jeff? Jeff, we can have a conversation or I can call the cops, Jeff. Jeff, I can call the cops or we can have a conversation.
No.
You want it? Jeff, you want to have a conversation? Jeff, I got your face on video, you scumbag. You want me to call the cops? All right, I'll call the cops. You invited over a 15-year-old kid tonight to have sex. Excuse me, everybody. This guy invited over a 15-year-old boy to have sex tonight.
Oh, that we're actually talking about this video he made called Sailor Moon Redraw Challenge is upsetting people all over Twitter. In this video, he defends a not safe for work art of Sailor Moon and says this.
A lot of anime doesn't even tell you the character's age. If you watch anime, and I know I'm speaking to the choir here, I'm just talking in generalizations here, excuse me, to make this point. If you watch anime, you know that for the most part, you don't know a character's age. In most anime, they don't go out of their way to be like, yes, by the way, this character is X years old. Some anime does. Very rarely. Most anime doesn't tell you a character's age. You would have to go out of the way to look it up or something. So I really feel like these weirdos who get all mad about the age are self-projecting because no one is thinking about that because it's not really relevant to most anime. The age doesn't really matter to most anime. It really doesn't. You don't even know about it, and it's not relevant to the anime for the most part.
Bro, it's not crazy to assume they are underage, considering the fact that they are in high school.
Yep, totally normal, perfectly normal people. Fucking nonsense. Let's talk about Lyo for a second, shall we? Why? Well, I found some damning accusations against him, and if I have to deal with the Bella shit, he's gonna have to talk about this shit as well. However, I'm not going to stoop to his level. So, I'm gonna make one thing clear. I am not saying that Lyo is a pedophile. He isn't. I have no proof to say that he is one. These claims might make you think that, but I want to make that clear because unlike Lyo, I don't try to lie about people by omission because I can't argue for shit. Starting off, Lyo got banned from Harley's server for doxing predators. You may think, why care about predators? And to that I say, I don't. But staying outside of your legal limit can cause problems for any possible investigation. An investigation is what you want to happen when exposing child molesters. That way, the offender can get put in jail for their crimes. This proves that either Lyo is only exposing nonsense for clout, or is completely and dangerously more irresponsible than I allegedly am. He also likes adopting underage girls off the internet as daughters. He also helped a girl move out of a troubled home, and in doing so, foolishly and accidentally moved said girl into the home of her groomer via GoFundMe. And when rightfully questioned, Lyo lied, saying he made a police report and the police did nothing, yet he provided no proof of the report existing. People then rightfully called him out on his behavior. He got defensive and tried to fuck with people who dare raise questions against him. Oh, and he doxed an underage girl because she got mad at him. Basically trying to ruin her life to teach her a lesson. Oh, and the Senate is infamous for starting raids against randos on 4chan. This reminds me of something Lemon once said.
Being upset at 4chan for being mean to you is like being mad at a bear for shitting in the woods.
But yeah, Lyo, feel free to prove me wrong in your own video about this with evidence. And no, A tweet won't cut it because your fans aren't gonna see it. If you do prove me wrong, well, it won't change a thing, but you know, now you'll understand why you need to watch how you word things.
Swing at me, Carmen. See what happens. You want to accuse me of claiming something about you? Bring actual receipts. If I wanted to call you a groomer, I would have done so. I'm not responsible for people being dumb like that.
Neither am I, but Septie seems to disagree.
Being dumb like that. And you don't get to pretend that I am to cover your own vile actions. You don't scare me.
Carmen was very unhappy with this. The problem, from what I could gather, was Lyo called her out on threatening to flag down my video instead of asking me to take it down.
No, it was because he worded himself in the worst possible way.
She blamed me for this.
I blamed all three of you. And I still do.
Me for this. Despite me saying that these were Lyo's claims and not mine, and despite the fact I didn't tell Lyo to do anything. I simply gave him the screenshots and told him to do as he saw fit.
And it didn't cross your mind that as he saw fit might include being dishonest and manipulative wording? Either you're an idiot, or you're doing something in such a way that you know it could be seen as an accident by an outside party, to get away with it due to lack of proof otherwise. Basically doing an oops, I didn't mean to. Huh. Why do I feel like there's a word for that?
There's a word for that. What does it start with? The word for that. I'd sound so smart if I only knew the word for that. Perhaps you do.
No idea. Moving on.
She got upset that Lyo didn't paint her to be fully innocent and didn't make her look better.
No, I got upset that he only furthered the pedophilia claims with his intentionally poor wording.
I mean, he addressed the grooming claims and he said that they were false. Which is what you initially wanted, wasn't it?
Yeah, and if he had just done that, then I would be fine. If he didn't misword the shit regarding Bella, I wouldn't care. But he did, so I do care.
After this, she left the GC, but I stayed to gather evidence. From my personal experience alone, we've seen 3 instances of Carmen caring more about controlling the situation and how she looks to the public rather than doing the right thing.
There's a difference between looking good to others and dealing with false pedophilia claims. Don't try to downplay what actually happened.
Whether it's saying she's gonna win with the Senate call, trying to strong-arm me into taking down my video instead of just asking, or trying to get me to talk on a situation I didn't want to talk on and getting mad when Lyo called her out on her shit. Ladies and gentlemen, this is just 3 of several examples where Carmen's sincerity in admitting fault can be called into question. We see here that Carmen more so wants to control the situation instead of coming to an understanding or actually admitting fault.
Coda, do you hear yourself right now? Earlier you talked so much about how you endorsed targeted harassment and went the completely wrong way about everything, yet it's my fault that I didn't act 100% positively? Coda, you can't just initiate targeted harassment against someone and expect them to blindly be nice to you back. So the next part of the video is a giant ad for Septie services, so they can move to the US with their boyfriends, so I'm gonna skip this. But then we get into the actual video where Septie weighs in. Yet, despite this being Coda's video, SeptyPaws takes up 80% of it. Why couldn't they just put this on their channel? Maybe because they gotta use Coda as a crutch because people know they're mentally unstable and won't just listen to them and them alone.
Hey ho, this is Septie, and I'm just gonna have a guest appearance in Coda's video.
A guest appearance that lasts the entire rest of the video.
So, yeah, you probably already have a basic idea of what's going on in this current situation.
Oh, I think we have plenty more than just a basic idea.
Kamen Rider is genuinely a selfish, manipulative, lying, sociopathic scumbag.
Damn, pulling out all the stops with this one now, huh? I mean, how else are you gonna justify harassing a guy who doesn't even like me in DMs for criticizing your friend?
If you're following me on Twitter, you probably know it has escalated to the point where I've had another breakdown over the fact how much Carmen is lying, gaslighting, and abusing me.
Oh, hi, Space Guru 5. Septie, while I was a dick to you, I never gaslit you or abused you. Learn what those words mean.
But before all of that, let's talk.
Yeah, see, Septie, Coda made this video a premiere, so people can't exactly rewind in the moment. So unless people specifically go back to the video to watch it, they're not going to do that. I know this seems pointless to bring up, but this is literally what Prismate Luke did. He put screenshots on screen knowing that people wouldn't read them. Since he does art commentary, and most people in the art CC don't look at the screen because they're, well, making art.
After Neko Koda's initial video, which has been privatized since then, because Kamen Rider actually threatened to flag it down.
Yes, and I said that was wrong of me, and I'm sorry for that. but you intentionally gloss over what actually caused that. But why would you ever give my fans the slightest benefit of the doubt given what you say later?
Yeah, just keep it in mind that she tries to silence people by force.
Two things. One, wasn't one of the things you got pissy at me for was calling you the new Kai Weiss in my old now enlisted video on you? Secondly, the only reason I ever talked to you was because of the guy you false struck. Now I want to make this clear. I don't like Need at all. He's a fucking nonce. However, at the same time, we didn't know he was a nonce. And the fact that Septie was actually willing to strike someone shows that he can't exactly cry about me saying that I might do it. Now again, me making that threat was bad. I agree. But you're being hypocritical. Don't want people doing something to you? Don't do that exact thing to them.
Of course, it'll come back later. This video was made a day after my first attempt at taking my own life via strangulation.
Guys, can't you tell I'm so sad? I put a clip from some random anime to prove it to you. Now look, I'm not saying Septie is lying, because I don't know what goes on in their life. But if I nearly ended my life, I wouldn't be putting some random clip of a news from some anime. It's not even like self-deprecating, it's just a clip that doesn't need to be here.
Which has failed since I was using a bedsheet to commit the deed, and it just fell apart as soon as I tried to take the final leap. Before the video happened, a whole bunch of people in Neil's server gathered around and talked to me in a voice chat. People like Neko Koda, LioConvoy, and even Just a Robot and his roommate. Then Lyo and Koda decided to directly confront Carmen about it on the Senate server. The call didn't resolve anything.
Wow, it's almost as if a pointless shouting match and unnecessary insults solves nothing.
However, it did show that Carmen Ryder is an egomaniac psychopath who only cares about herself. Since in the entire call, she just complains about how people treat her like a child, and rightfully berate her for her actions.
They didn't berate me for my actions. They fucking insulted my living situation and other parts of my life and loosely tied it to you. So then Septie plays some clip from the call for way too fucking long and posts memes in between with no elaboration on what's being criticized. So I'm going to skip where they actually make a statement or criticize the thing.
It was said in confidence. You think that's gonna help this person?
One, it wasn't a private conversation, it happened in my server. They say, showing no proof, which is not private. It's not exactly public, but it's not private. And two, Space Guru 5 did the same thing with Joshua Montag, I don't see the issue. It is. Point is, you're holding expectations for me, but not others. This is literally what No One Asked tried to pull against Jar. See what I mean by your arguments being a hazard to him? Whatever.
Yeah, you can whatever all you want. You're the one that lives with your grandma and starting nonsense online when you don't even have your own life together.
See what I mean by insults about my life?
This private fucking mental health issue is not. Go fuck yourself, you stupid bitch.
You're one to talk for someone who sent me pictures of you in a cowkini. Whore. Post-editing Carmen here to provide an update I got when working on this video. An anonymous source reached out to me to ask some questions about Koda's flirtatious attitude. They have given me permission to talk about this publicly, so long as I don't violate their privacy and don't try to talk about personal stuff too much. So I will say this first, do not bother these people. My source knows Koda IRL, and it turns out, when Koda was having sexual interactions with me, it turns out she was actually cheating on her partner. Her girlfriend didn't know about her having sexual conversations with me, and I didn't know her girlfriend had a problem with it till today. Now you may think, but Carmen Ryder, don't you have a girlfriend too? Yes, I do, but I'm in an open relationship. Me and my girlfriend can fuck around all we want, and neither of us will care. Hell, we even had a third at one point. Koda doesn't exactly have that. She had an open relationship, sorta, but with some terms. Basically, Koda broke one of the terms, with not just me, but with multiple people. The convo with my source is on screen right now if you want to see what problems were had. Unfortunately, I can't exactly show the screenshots I sent to the source due to it having some not YouTube-friendly language. But at the very least, this should show how untrustworthy Coda is. Now, I was going to leave this part here, but a literal day after my source talked to me, not only did Coda delete her Discord server, but she also made vague venting tweets that sound like it's about the cheating, giving a vague, say it to my face message. I don't know about you, but that sounds like an indirect admission of guilt to me. The tweets are on screen here for you to read. If there is anyone who is engaged sexually with Coda, feel free to leave a comment here as my source is trying to find all the people she had sexual relations with. Remember, do not bother these people. But yeah, that's the part I wanted to highlight. Back to the normal video.
You literally almost caused this man to end his own life, and you're sitting here all confident with your thumb up your ass?
I did not cause him to end his life. Remember the clip I played from Kumo earlier? Well, here's that argument in action. Not elaborating on the other factors to make me look like the sole reason.
You did definitely put a factor.
Okay, so you're doing the Chaos 55T thing. I'm sure Jar would like to hear that.
Shut the fuck up. No one cares about your robot fanfiction. Know your fucking place, trash.
Yeah,
I'm sure Jar would like to hear that.
Go ahead and stop that right now, Neko. I'm gonna ask you to back.
I don't use him as a meat shield. I'm just saying you shouldn't use tactics your employer's enemy uses. Also, this is textbook controlling behavior right here, which we'll see more of later. But telling someone to cut ties with another person on the basis of, I don't like that person, is controlling. Isn't that literally what Box of Fox got exposed for doing? Which led her to nuke her entire channel?
So what is the horrible thing Box of Fox, aka Sparrow, did behind my back? Well, they tried to get one of my editors to not work with me. But they don't want to be involved in this situation, so I'll be blocking out their name, profile picture, and all that good stuff. And my editor working on this video will read out their comments, and I'll read out Sparrow's comments. But again, I am against leaking DMs, but when you try to attack one of my workers, all bets are off.
You better pay up the ass for me to do this. Okay, let's go.
Hey, I haven't watched this yet, but I have something to ask you. You're still working with Jar, right? Dude, I hate to do this, but I really don't know if I can be friends with you if you're still working for him. He's been doing really sleazy shit behind the scenes, like some grade A quality bullshit, and I just want to get away from all of that.
But I guess it's okay when you do it, right?
All of that, she also couldn't even be bothered to pay attention to what these people are saying. Keep in mind this call happened hardly 3 hours after someone tried to end their own life, partially because of her.
Oh, there's that wording again. Partially. That wording we discussed at the start. Oh, wait, no guys, they mean particularly. Yeah, can't forget that.
That's just inhumane. Sometime later, she did make a video that was supposed to be an update on the situation and an apology to me. Keyword, supposed to be.
Yeah. You didn't accept it because I was mean to Koda and Lyo. That's literally the only reason. Honestly, I shouldn't have given you it at all. Your behavior has clearly gotten worse than mine, and you don't deserve an I'm sorry.
But in reality, it was nothing more than an insult to injury. It was just text on a black screen, not even addressing anything she's done to me, and she spent more time demonizing the people who were actually in support of me while trying to defend herself from alleged groomer allegations.
I had to get it out quick because people were calling me a groomer. I don't think you realize that allegations like that ruin lives. Also, not to mention, literally everyone took it well until Koda's tweet about it came out. Huh. It's almost as if the reason people didn't like it was because they saw Koda's tweet and nothing else. I will admit, maybe I could have handled it better. Keyword, maybe. But clearly someone was pulling at the strings.
It was just a mess. I left a long comment expressing my disdain for this garbage video that she had the nerve to label as the apology I deserved.
You're right! You didn't deserve that apology. You deserve nothing.
Which reads as follows. And then, these entitled little pricks had the audacity to complain that I didn't accept this horrendous non-apology.
Everyone who doesn't agree with me is a prick.
The requirement was to apologize.
Couldn't find an English-speaking YouTuber to use as your caricature? Also, this is supposed to be a serious video about someone who nearly ended their life, yet they're making jokes about it as if it were the Toby drama or some shit. Guys, I'm so wacky, I nearly ended my life. I could have died.
Yeah, let's go! Oh my god, look at this! Look at this cube! Oh, nice! Let's go! Oh my god, it's so shiny! Oh, let's go! Whoa, look at this! Whoa, shiny laser! Whoa, yeah, gamer moves! Woo-hoo! Oh yeah, I'm killing you! Oh, how do you like that? Oh, you dying yet? You feeling it yet, Mr. Krabs?
That's how delusional these people are.
Because people disagreeing with you is delusional now.
Someone almost loses their life due to their constant bullying and attempt at sabotaging my connections to Jar, and they think a low-effort, vague text apology will magically undo all the damage they've caused.
Almost as bad as someone talking about nearly ending their life and putting meme clips in a way to make it funny when it's not and it only causes people to question your sincerity. Also, you said sabotaging my connections with Jar. Yet earlier you tried to tell Jar to cut me off for ruining his reputation, even though literally no one but me, you, and Lyo talked to him about this shit.
And if that wasn't bad enough, the gaslighting only starts from here. Carmen and her mindless beta male stance tried to play mind games with me and tried to convince me that the real aggressors here are Neko Koda and LioConvoy.
Everyone who doesn't agree with me is a beta male stan. Is targeted harassment not aggressing? This could have stayed on Discord, but no, you had to bring it to YouTube.
I was first alerted to their conspiracy attempt after I left a long comment under a very bad video trying to defend Carmen.
Not gonna elaborate on why the video was bad? Okay.
She completely disregards everything I say, except for the parts where I say that a Mama Max parody was not the best idea to talk about this situation.
Yeah. I was giving you the benefit of the doubt and hoping Koda was just acting irrationally and you were rational. I now see my assumption was wrong. In fact, this is what caused you to harass my mod, because I called you the Riku of this situation. Firstly, that just states that despite you being a fan of RPGs, you've never played Kingdom Hearts. Fake fan. But more importantly, I was giving you the benefit of the doubt, saying you were on the bad guy's side, solely out of confusion and anger, but deep inside, you understood you had a conscience. Unfortunately, I was wrong because you're the exact fucking opposite. Because you have a tantrum every single time someone isn't 100% on your side, and you DM the person personally angry with them. You did it with Raptor, you did it with Ephraim, and you did it with Kumo. You're not the Riku of the situation. Spoilers, you're the Ansem.
1. Hold Carmen accountable for her sins.
Yeah, it's not cancel culture, it's accountability culture. It's not witch trials, they're just accountability trials. We're just holding you accountable is all, yeah, which is why I went to your friends and pressured them into unadding you.
Two, spread awareness of the situation, and prove it to me that people do care about me and that I'm not alone in this. But it would seem I didn't get the memo, as this is what Corman was trying to push behind the scenes before they tried to manipulate me publicly. Not the full comment, but even Septie somewhat despises what Koda did. Seems like they're lying to themselves.
I lie to myself. Every morning when I wake up, I say everything's gonna be okay, but I'm lying.
So you admit you're lying to yourself. Uh-huh. You're not the Ansem or the Riku here. You're the fucking Queen of Hearts.
I'm not Neil, so don't quote me on that. But I do think they're trying to convince themselves that Neko cares about them.
Yes, putting Hitler in the background to manipulate your audience into thinking I'm worse than I actually am. See, guys, Carmen is evil. You can tell because I put Hitler in the background.
Yeah, everyone I don't like is literally Hitler. Everyone except for me.
Oh, I will quote you on that. I don't need to convince myself that Neko cares about me. It's very clear she does.
Well, I'm glad, but that doesn't excuse both of you from criticism.
She was the first one to jump when she heard something happen to me. Even when I was lashing out in a very irrational state of mind, she stood beside me and did everything she could to support me. Meanwhile, what do these people do? Here it is. The realization is going to hit Septie like a Mack truck. I wouldn't be surprised if Lyo would wire shock the shit out of Septie. Like as soon as they turn on Lyo. But like I said, Senzu, we have the pieces. We just need to pick the right time and how to put them together. Okay, first of all, Lyo only goes after criminals.
And randos on 4chan, random teenage girls online to teach them a lesson, and people who criticize him for having an underage girl move in with a pedophile. Don't forget that.
Not people who get into an argument with him. This just proves how delusional of a moron Kamen Rider actually is.
I was basing my assumption off the screenshots I received of that 4chan thread from earlier. These aren't just random claims I pulled out of my ass.
Second of all, as I've said before, instead of trying to learn from her mistakes, she would rather try to dig up dirt on the people who rightfully called her out. Then we get more of this. Like I said, I believe Septie is lying to themselves to justify all of this. If you believe your friends care about you, then you are just lying to yourself. While we, the scumbags who bullied you for weeks and are trying to turn you against your friends, are just here to help you get better. Come on now.
I'm not here to help you get better. I don't want you killing yourself, and I have a plan in place to make sure that doesn't happen. But no, I'm not here to help you get better.
What a tomfool that was. After that, they tried to manipulate me in the comment section under this garbage video.
You mean they disagreed with you?
Which went something like this. Good video. Your definition of good must be inverted.
So let me get this straight. Someone left a comment, not directed at you, and you replied to them negatively, and when they respond to your reply negatively, they're the ones attacking you? Are you fucking retarded? Also earlier, Koda stated that she can't control what Lyo says, but you're expecting me to control what Agent said? Do you not see how this conflicts?
Septie, you're being used. Koda doesn't actually care about you. Corman and a few others in her server actually did try to help you multiple times, yet you rejected the help.
You lie! You're a fucking liar! Shut up!
We tried to help you, but you rejected us. What a fucking liar. Corman and her people never tried to help me, aside from Neil maybe. In fact, every time I opened up to Corman after experiencing something bad, she would later go on and use it against me just to win an argument. Things like me losing my job, getting abused by my father for years, and ending up on medication, and my CSA. Yes, she actually used what happened to me as a child to win an argument when I tried to convince her months ago to try to make peace with Neko Koda.
This one is the only one I actually remember. Yes, what I said was wrong here. I will 100% admit that. However, you weren't just convincing me. You actively kept poking at me over and over and over again about it, and thus I got angry at you. Don't believe me? See for yourself! I will admit, what I said was terrible. But you can't DM me about something over and over and over again and expect me to not get fed up with you. That's not how human interaction works.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, tell me. I know you're gonna tell me. You might as well tell me now. Tell me now. You know I'm gonna break you, sis. You might as well tell me now. You're gonna break, and this is gonna break you. Tell me now. Come on, Annie's. Tell me now. Put it down, lay it down, fess it up.
You do that one more time.
Instead of beefing for no reason.
Yep, no reason. Forget the time she made 5 fucking videos on me, I guess. And did the last 4 after defending me.
That's how pathetic and vile Carmen is. There are no words. She's downright disgusting. And this was months ago.
And yet you're still hung up on it.
She's only gotten worse, in case you couldn't tell. Remember what Carmen said in the call before she unlisted it? That she was willing to be rational, while I wasn't?
Trying to get onto somebody else for mental health when you can't even live on your own. Your life isn't together either, so what right do you have to go on somebody else's mental health? That was my point.
The point was that I was able to act rationally, but he's not. I don't tell you.
This is not rational. This is not rational. I'm sorry, but no, I'm gonna stop you right there.
Yes, interrupting me.
About how he said, yes, I am. Welcome to how the real world works.
Well, let's see how it went down. I was taking a break from social media for around 5 to 6 days. I changed my name to Temporarily Missing, and I only briefly checked back 1 or 2 times when I was told something bad is going on, because some crazy person was spreading false rumors about me on a server run by Harley TBS.
New video idea? Also, the name and profile changes were one of the reasons I initially thought you were sadfishing, since it had one of those Instagram e-girl fonts and no profile picture. I'm not saying what I did was okay, but you could see how something like that would make others think that.
So I come back once I was told about that elsewhere, and before I even say anything, this is what happens. Septie is too busy catfishing. We need to teach them to solve their own problems. Are you sure they're not actually suicidal? You can still be depressed but also catfish. Keep in mind how they argue dishonestly.
Holy fuck, is this wrong? But holy hell, is it erotic?
Oh, now they come back that I called them out. Now they come back when they realize they didn't get the attention they wanted.
You are absolute scum, and I fucking hate you.
When their sad boy stuff didn't tug the heartstrings, and now they're making a paragraph on how everyone is just a hug box. And it's not just people disagreeing with me.
Take note of how they glanced over the mention of Ephraim. It's almost as if you know your hatred for Ephraim is unreasonable, and slightly alluding to it would make you look like an over-obsessive asshole.
And then they're gonna threaten to overdose and do the same shit again. I'm Carmen Ryder, and I'm an irredeemable piece of shit.
And I'm Septie, and I like being a totalitarian who endorses harassment.
You know what? Go fuck yourself, Carmen. Seriously, fuck you. I was alerted to people spreading false info about me, and I've also seen what you've been saying about me. You have been treating me as the new Kai Weiss since the very beginning. You called me a liar when I told you what I'm going through, or used it against me. You're calling my depression and what I'm going through a fake, catfishing emo fuckfest. And you have admitted that you only made up with me to get service from me.
Yeah? The reason I knew of you was because you left mentally brain-dead comments on videos beforehand. And you false-struck a dude. Once Jar told me you were the thumbnail guy, I then decided to make up with you for the sake of a specific project. Did you really think that after all you were doing when I first met you, that you would just be my friend for no reason? Do you not understand how jobs work?
And when you see how doing you service is wrongfully getting me into trouble, you don't want to help, but instead say I'm too busy catfishing, and that I have to deal with being slandered alone. You are just like prison mate Luke. You are a living piece of shit. I never called your depression fake. You are the cause of a great deal of my misery as of late.
Cope.
I hope you die very soon.
And I hope to break into Neko Koda's house with the sledgehammer. yank her drawers down in her sleep, spread her pug cheeks, and just stick it in there.
When I've done nothing but be patient with you, you fucking psychopath. Clearly, you've not read what I've said about you. Oh, I did read what you said about me. How about I show everyone just how you spoke of me while I was gone? Why do I feel like Septie has been trying to start problems on purpose? Anytime they criticize me, despite us making up, it's fine by their logic, and anyone who goes against them is a sin. Yet the moment I reply, they start bitching. And then they point out that we already made up.
Exactly. You would start arguments for the hell of it, and I'd have to take it. But whenever I do something, it's an issue with you, and we already made up. Do you not see how that's causing problems?
Then threaten to overdose over a debate. Yet I'm the bad guy for letting them know that what they're doing can actively hurt Jar.
You piece of shit liar!
She's a goddamn liar.
I'm not. And stop putting words in Jar's mouth.
Every time I criticize her behavior, she would bring up the fact we made up. But when she makes personal attacks on me, I respond with, now you don't say we made up?
No, it was the other way around. You provoked a lot of the shit in the server.
Then she would twist that to make it convenient for herself. Secondly, I didn't just threaten to overdose over a debate. I was already having a very terrible day since I just lost my job due to mental health issues a day or so prior.
Okay, well I don't live in your head. I don't know what goes on in your life unless you tell me.
And it also caused inner conflict within my family, so my days were straight up terrible for the following weeks to come. And thirdly, she thinks if I even just slightly agree with someone who wronged Jar in the past, in this case Kai Wise, then that's me defending their bad actions and that would somehow hurt Jar.
Yet somehow you have a problem when people remain neutral on your situation that you started. When I point out that giving Kai the benefit of the doubt is bad, which it has been proven that he uses those people as ammo, you have a problem with it. But when someone decides to give me the benefit of the doubt, you have a problem with it.
And just to point it out, Jar made 2 videos talking about the drama involving him and others like Prisonmate Luke, Omnia, and Tumen. And guess which video he recommended? The same Kai Wise video I posted that caused the argument to break out.
You do realize I don't watch every Jar video, right? I didn't think Jar would recommend a Kai Wise video unless hell froze over. But hell freezing over would explain the heat waves in my area. Also, I stated that I still didn't trust Kai Wise. Just because Kai was the Epstein of the Prisonmate Luke operation doesn't mean I have to like him.
You tried so hard to fuck with my head and force me to believe that if I just slightly agree with someone who damaged Jar in the past, we'll just hurt him.
Even though you never believed it in the first place. And even then, that's not fucking with your head, that's me making sure you don't get fired.
Yet he himself agrees that the video revealed some interesting information. Congratulations, Carmen, you are a fucking dumbass. And stop using Jar as your meat shield.
And not the fact that you straight up call people pathetic worms. But it's nice to see you still participate in and support hive minds. And you wonder why people call you a communist.
Pathetic worms like you are the reason his fanbase gets a bad name. Your kind belongs in the trash.
The fuck do you mean, your kind? People who are fans of Jar? People who like your boss's work belong in the trash? Is that what you're saying? Because how else am I supposed to interpret your kind?
But more on that later. Let's continue reading what nice things Carmen said about me while I was away. Also, why can't they just tell me what's wrong and use their words? Because you abuse every tidbit of information I share with you, asshole.
Then don't be a hypocrite.
That's why. I am speculating that it's more than just debates.
No shit.
And they want to hurt themselves because of all the bullshit eventually piling up on them. Then why threaten it during that specific time? Maybe it was the last straw? Still risks of set phishing. Let's not forget their profile change.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
Septie can't handle the hypocrisy of their own actions, or when the flaws in their arguments are pointed out. Oh yeah, that was set phishing. Yes, Carmen, changing my profile to let people know I will be taking some time off just reeks of set phishing.
Because you did it in an e-girl font and got rid of your profile picture. If you had just changed your name normally, like taking a break or something, I wouldn't care.
You don't even know what the word means, yet you're throwing it around, playing with the sanity of your abuse victim like that? Shameless! Also, can I just point out that this moron who goes by the name of Senzuben, aka Agent of Hydra, is a 35-year-old man who's actively stalking my Twitter?
He was not stalking your Twitter. He was taking screenshots of your recent public Twitter posts and putting them in my server. And you're one to talk given your shy alt account being in my server, which literally has no invites in it right now. Someone taking screenshots of your public Twitter account isn't stalking. Don't want people screenshotting your tweets? Go private. Also, what does him being 30 have anything to do with this? Oh, right, you're doing the Brittany Venti thing and stereotyping all of my fans as perverted old men in order to make my argument look lesser. Now, any rational person would wonder why Septie has to bring up a Discord rando out of nowhere. This is another person Septie has a hate boner for. Why? Because Septie got in debates with him a lot and tried to get him banned. Ever since the many debates, Septie has a massive hate boner for Senzu because of course they do.
And he actually agreed with someone saying that pedophilia is a completely natural feeling?
That's a lie and you know it. He was talking about scientifically pedophilia is natural, as in it appears in nature. He's not saying pedophilia is okay or good. No, far from it. Here is the full thread right here. You can read it here if you like, but notice the last comment he made? The one that says, nature isn't always sunshine and rainbows? That shows that Senzu knows that pedophilia is bad, but is stating that it being a thing in nature is an unfortunate truth. He's not doing some map shit like you're trying to imply.
Yeah, that's Carmen's #1 lackey right now. Do I need to say anything?
Yes.
See what I mean? My thoughts exactly. I've been through the same things, yet I don't say I should fucking overdose. I got bullied, essayed, I got depressed, dealt with my inner city bullshit, I have been abused, but I am still standing, I guess. Exactly. Septie has no excuse. I have no excuse. I have no excuse.
Yeah. Was that supposed to make you look like the good guy? No elaboration, I guess.
She actually said that I have no reason to suffer from severe depression and act irrational where I can't control my emotions.
I said you don't have an excuse to act like a fool publicly.
I have no excuse. Followed by, I assure you once Septie sees this thread, they're gonna fucking lose their shit because I'm right about them.
And you did lose your shit.
You were never right about me in the first place. Everything you've said about me has been proven to be bullshit, so you can maliciously fool your own ego. But your luck has run out, and you will face consequences eventually. It's ironic since Septie said I won't better myself through headpats and only through discipline from people like you, yet Septie won't even practice what they preach. Yeah, there's a major difference. You falsely accuse me of being a pedophile, you fucking moron.
And you did that exact thing to me and Senzu.
Well, let's do that. If they threaten suicide in an argument, we tell them they're catfishing. Then they'll get the hint they need to fix their own damn issues. If Septie threatens suicide in a bad state of mind, let's call them an attention-seeking piece of shit. That will make them feel so much better.
While I will admit that's a wrong way to go about things, that wasn't my logic. My logic was that you would see everyone speaking negatively and realize, oh, these people don't care about me. I'll go look for support somewhere else.
At Carmen Rider, I respect you and I really enjoy your content, but I've expressed thoughts about suicide in the past and was accused of being full of shit, so with as much respect for you as possible, I ask you to please apply some empathy. Hence why I gave them the benefit of the doubt and entertained the possibility that they aren't bullshitting. I gave them the benefit of the doubt in case they weren't bullshitting. Please tell me I'm not the only one who can see how much of a scumbag Carmen really is.
Okay, we won't tell you. Because you are the only one.
But in case you're not convinced, here's some more. What about that thread made you think they were catfishing?
They conveniently did it during a debate and their profile change. So, that proves nothing. It's not 100% proof, but like I said, I'm somewhat entertaining the idea that they might be having trouble. Hence why I'm suggesting they take a break or talk to someone and not just flat out say, "You're faking it." Also, you can still be actually depressed and selfish at the same time.
Yes, that's literally her evidence. Having a mental breakdown in the middle of a debate, you know, after she was insinuating that she will get me fired by Jar just because I disagree with her on Kai Weiss.
Literally when? You mean this one part where he's being sarcastic? You can tell because of the fucking fact that I used the asterisk font.
And the fact I changed my profile. Now that you know how Carmen has spoken about me before I came back, let's go back to Carmen acting rationally. I have given you so many chances and the benefit of the doubt.
Fucking when? If anything, you keep coming back when clearly no one wants you here.
Oh yes, I've read it.
You talk about me poorly and it's perfectly fine, yet I talk about you poorly and you say, "We made up."
You just say that I'm a sad fisher for attention. You literally just said it was a sad boy act.
You can do both.
No, you fucking can't.
You can be depressed and still sad fish.
You are made of stupid.
I'm not doing anything for attention.
Septie, you're starting to sound like Space Guru 5.
Nobody cares!
And you're a fucking maniac. You deserve to lose everything.
Supporting false strikes, huh?
That isn't what I said at all!
Yes, you did. You mentioned my monetization is something I deserve to lose. My monetization was gone because of a false strike by Emp that you hate. So yes, you did support false strikes.
Your monetization, your friends, everything. Because you're a wicked, selfish, manipulative pile of shit. This is how you treat people who try to help you. And how many times I try to give you advice instead of attacking you.
I'll be sure to tell the world you are supporting false strikes.
Septie, that isn't slander. Slander would imply that I'm lying about you. I'm not. I'm speaking objective facts about you.
She's completely twisting what I said like usual. Me saying that she deserved to lose something doesn't mean I support false flagging.
Yes, it does. Because the way I lost my monetization was through a false flag. You know this. Nil talked about it. Don't play retard with me.
It's ironic she would say that, since she wanted to flag Koda's video, claiming it was targeted harassment. You know who else said that before and after striking someone? Kai Weiss.
I thought Kai Weiss cried about copyright, not harassment.
Let that sink in. What do I get in return? Only stress. I don't support false strikes, but you provoked it.
By what? Over a fucking 9/11 joke?
Everything shitty that happens to you, you started it first with something. You are the fire starter who cries about getting burned.
Oh, God forbid I gave an opinion.
Nice opinion. One small issue. I am inside your home.
You know, it's not wise to invade another person's home when you're legally not allowed to own a gun.
Your opinion is literally CP is okay if it's drawn, even if it's depicting real children.
If it's drawn, it's not CP. Also, this has nothing to do with the situation involving you. But Septie wants to bring it up because making me look like a pedophile will make me not want to defend myself. But where'd they get this idea from? Because I said that I wanted to cover Turkey Tom's video on Shadman, and Shadman drew hentai of Keemstar's daughter or some shit. Yeah, they're defending Keemstar, but there's a thing I have that makes them also a hypocrite. Septie drew Rule 34 of Galaxy is okay when she was 14. Don't believe me? Here's a comment on their video about Galaxy is okay where they admit to it. But don't worry guys, it's okay. You know, they said sorry. So you're saying that if Shadman just said, "I'm sorry," you'd accept it? If so, then you're making a big deal out of nothing. If not, you're even more of a hypocrite. Now, I am not saying Septie is a pedophile. I don't think they are. But if you're saying that Shadman made CP, then you did too.
You can't even do one single thing and at least respect my pronouns, you piece of shit.
I'm not transphobic. I did mess up your pronouns, that's on me, but that was only because I thought you went by all three. Though I don't see what me being a Truscum has to do with it. Also, didn't you literally detonate me at one point because you were angry at me because I talked about your dad?
You literally threatened to overdose over a debate.
Nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source?
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
You literally said I should fucking overdose. I didn't make up shit, stop lying.
Just fuck you. I didn't do it over a debate.
Yes, you did. I have the screenshots.
My day was already terrible.
X.
Your screenshot doesn't mean shit.
You made it terrible.
I've lost my job beforehand again, because I couldn't go in because of my mental state, and they didn't care. They said I can just go then. It was a new workplace. Okay, I already proved that I've lost my job lately, and my mental health has gotten so much worse during this time. So once again, prison mate Carmen is disregarding someone's mental state just because it inconvenienced her.
Septie Guru 5, you didn't inconvenience me. You outright said you wanted to kill yourself in the server. Yeah, I reacted poorly, but how the fuck did you expect me to know that you were having a bad day? As for the bringing up personal stuff, I was pointing out your hypocrisy of you saying I deserve to be cancelled or whatever by saying I deserve to lose everything. Meanwhile, you fell on victim to cancel culture yourself.
That's called being a sociopath.
Wow, you really can't keep a job, can you?
And you can't convince people you're not a pedophile. Since you're defending porn drawn of a real 9-year-old by Shadman.
I'm not a pedophile apologist, whatever the fuck that means. But hey, you're one to compare me to prison mate Luke when you flash random shit on the screen without elaboration. You called me a gaslighter over a conversation about a hentai artist. And again, you drew porn of Galaxy is okay and admitted to it, so you're just as guilty.
Man.
Okay, not cool, Septie. Nobody deserves to lose that.
But who can resist this?
Because being against cancel culture is apparently proof that people suck up to me or whatever.
Yes, she does. Cope harder. 35-year-old pedophile advocate.
He never fucking advocated for pedophilia. Stop lying, spiteful Euro bitch.
Someone like Carmen doesn't deserve to live the luxury of getting paid for her garbage content, when this is how she treats people who disagree with her. You can't change my mind. Yeah, according to Carmen, if you are a shitty person, you deserve it. If Kai deserves to have their cat stolen, then Carmen deserves to lose monetization.
Because he abused his partner and hit them. That's why I said he might need his cat taken away, because he's an abuser who hits his partner. Since, you know, violent people almost always start attacking animals first before humans.
It's just how it works according to her.
Literally when? When did I say that? I remember this.
Put a spin on this.
You've literally said Kai deserves to have their cat stolen by Omnia, saying someone who hits a woman must be abusing animals as well.
Yeah, because that's how abusers and other violent people start. They start hitting animals, and they go after people. Have you never seen a true crime documentary before?
Well, no, that's not how anything works. By that logic, you don't deserve to have children because you defend lolicon.
That makes no sense, but I wasn't planning on having kids anyways.
It would make no sense. By your own logic, you did.
When?
Since you are a shitty person, you deserve to lose shit. That's your logic. Don't play the innocent. You were the one calling me a sadfisher. Like when you called Kai a suicide baiter with no evidence.
Notice how they conveniently skip over me saying, gonna bring up something Edge said and claim it's my fault? Yeah, Septie does that a lot. Blames me for stupid shit Edge did, saying I allowed it to happen. Oh, and before you say it, I already talked about the Kai shit in previous video.
Then I have paper evidence of my depression.
How does that relate to monetization?
Are you retarded?
Read it, you fucking bitch. Translate it for yourself. If you don't want to believe it, then fucking read it.
Rude.
I have my paper screenshotted.
Congrats, that doesn't prove anything.
It does prove I'm not faking it. I'm going through lots of shit, and you have been making it worse.
Anyway, my girlfriend was right about you. Go back coping with your abusive father and try not to call my girlfriend an alcoholic on the way out.
Ah, yes. Calling the person who warned me about you a street skank. Would sure be a shame if she found out. Oh, wait. Oh, and they also called her an alcoholic and tried to hide it. And now that somebody said something slightly mean to you, you're gonna go cry to your conversion therapy reject of a boyfriend. Hey, if you get to call my partner shitty things, I get to do it to your partner. So then they start playing more shit from the call to fill the runtime while putting dated memes on top. Gonna skip until they actually give an argument.
Okay, well if he doesn't want to fucking see it, then he can either block me or leave.
Oh, the irony!
You forgot to mention that the troll was a stalker known as Just Tube Stuff, who according to Perry, aka Fry, yes, that Fry, she was stalking me and my Discord server for 6 months, despite being banned from my server. An actual stalker.
You care about making a video on me, similar to how you did with Luke and trying to say that I'm the new prison mate. Luke, after all, that's what Septie did.
-8 isn't a groomer. Also, I've since distanced myself from Joshua, but I guess it's too hard to read pinned comments now, huh? Not to mention it wasn't confirmed if Joshua knew the people he flirted with were underage at the time or not. Point is, it's up in the air whether or not Joshua was a groomer. Yeah, he was a creepy, gross, nice guy, but there's no confirmation if he knew the ages or not. Also, I didn't defend CP, I defended Lolicon. Oh, sorry. Defended.
And that's where my stay on the server ended. Now that we acknowledge that Carmen is an insensitive psychopath, let's talk about what happened after that proves that. So, quite a few days go by, then I start to feel down again. What happened was, people were accusing Carmen of being a groomer because LioConvoy made a tweet post stating that Carmen allowed a 15-year-old to run around and sexually harass people via CP of herself, to which, yeah, she did.
I didn't allow it to happen, but I already explained this prior.
Until she was the next target.
Yes, I tolerated her having mental breakdowns, because it was either she was going to be surrounded by people who wanted to get her better, which was my server, or she was going to be surrounded by maps. And I felt like if I banned her, she would end up with the maps.
This person was Foo/Bella, who, as far as I know, harassed at least 4 people on the server, including me, Edge, Neil, and Carmen. Instead of doing anything, Carmen chose to ignore it before she was next on the chopping board.
I wasn't ignoring it. I was at work. I'm not on Discord 24/7. Of course I didn't notice someone sending shit in my server while I was at work.
And allowed Foo to stay, despite the fact the other 3 people has already been harassed, and Carmen knew about at least 2 cases.
No, I didn't. I didn't know who else she sent underwear pics to until after the fact. Stop lying.
Then Carmen actually had the nerve to start demanding me and Coda to defend her from claims we never made.
Oh, but I'm supposed to take responsibility for Sanzu. Right, gotcha. You were a part of the movement Coda started. So was Lyo. Asking you to make a statement wasn't hard.
All Lyo did was call her out on something she was guilty of. People coming to the false conclusion that Carmen is a groomer is not Lyo's fault. As far as I know, only one person said she was a groomer, who misunderstood the situation and even apologized.
You still didn't tell the full story, despite the fact that you were in the server during the time that Bella was there.
But I guess you have to pressure your victim to defend your sorry ass because of reasons, I guess. So I told her this as a response. Straight to the point, here's a cut and dry deal, take it or leave it. And we'll talk again in the live vid jar when the doc is ready and my mind is stable. Coda will make a follow-up video to update the situation and I will assist her with that. You were demanding that we debunk rumor allegations made towards you, by whom I don't know, since Lyo even told people you're not one. If you're gonna have the nerve to make a request like that after what you've put me through, then there better be something in return. Here's the deal if you want me to debunk it instead follow-up. I need the money. You are free to commission me and/or send any of your members to commission me so they assist me on my fundraiser so I can meet my partner with less troubles. The new life in the US that was mentioned before. The video Coda originally made goes back up, at least when unlisted, so it's available on playlist. I'll ask her to try to cut the part where she tells people to directly pastor you. You don't get to silence her. We don't do that in the CC. 3. No pep talk. This is either strictly business or we don't talk until the live debate with Jar. Now you are to answer with a straight yes or no. No negotiations before answer or that's an automatic no. I gave her a very fair win-win offer. And how does she react? She starts claiming that I put a price on her innocence. What?
That's literally what you did. You said to pay you and then you'll tell the truth about Bella. You literally fucking did.
On extortion, they better make this call good and well made, or else the video on this situation is going up and I'm gathering all the evidence in real time. If I have to walk on eggshells, so do they.
Oh dear, I seem to have spotted a cunt!
First of all, she's not innocent.
Hey, Septie, I know you're trying to put a giant red square around a part to divert attention from the trying to help her part, but I have fucking eyes.
I have special eyes.
Second of all, that is not what I said at all. What I said was basically, you help me, I'll help you. That's it. I was more than generous when I said that, but nothing is good enough. So after I said I was growing very frustrated, what happened after was, I've had a conversation with Neko Koda in a very irrational state of mind, where I said this. This kind of behavior will not be tolerated here anymore, she says.
I never said that the behavior was tolerated to begin with. You're misquoting me on purpose. But here's the part where you threaten to kill yourself if Jar doesn't pick you. Nice job using emotional blackmail, you fucking asshole. Oh, you did the same thing to Edge and Mr. Asses when you found out they had me added.
Emotional blackmail is a way to control or manipulate someone by using guilt, fear, and obligation against them. Is someone passive-aggressive, overly controlling? Do they use threats like, do this or I'll hurt you, or even, do this or I'll hurt myself? That leads to another difficult situation. If someone ever belittles themselves, I'm pathetic. You should just leave me. I'm gonna hurt myself. It puts you in a complicated position, because it can feel like there's a responsibility to provide this person with whatever they need, because obviously you care about them and you don't want them to feel this way, or even do something bad to themselves. But this is a hard pill you've gotta just swallow. You are not personally responsible for anyone's happiness. But they've got really bad self-esteem, and I'm worried that not responsible for anyone's happiness. But they're really depressed and can't help it, so I feel like if I just not responsible for anyone's happiness. But I'm Santa Claus. Alright, gray area. Responsibility shouldn't be assigned to you, even if it breaks your heart to step back. People normally aren't equipped to be able to help someone with their issues anyway, so it's best to encourage them to see a professional who's been trained to know how to handle things. Someone might be struggling with their own personal stuff, but mental illness doesn't negate their responsibility to maintain a healthy relationship. It just means they need to work on themselves, which is okay, but you don't need to be a part of that. You've got your own junk, they've got their junk. You need to decide how much of their junk you want to help with. Don't let them forcefully shove their junk on you.
And she wonders why people call her a pedophile.
Wait, does that mean it was tolerated at one point?
With that cherry wording, it seems like it. I'm so done with all this bullshit she's pulling. In the live debate, at the end, I'm going to tell Jar that he's gonna have to choose.
Ah yes, you said you're sorry, so that changes everything. Forget the fact that what you did was still emotional blackmail. It doesn't matter if you're in a bad state of mind. Combined with all you've done, it's still manipulative.
I don't care anymore. He needs to choose who to keep. And if he chooses Carmen, I'm jumping off the balcony in livestream in front of everyone. I don't care anymore. I'm just so fucking done with this bullshit. All I did was offer a win-win deal. But no, that's not good enough. It must be twisted and used against the victim.
Don't want people using things against you? Then don't do stupid shit.
I won't have any of this shit anymore.
You can't place your self-worth on what others think and what others say.
Now, this is something I shouldn't have said, and I did realize I was being irrational, so what I did soon after this was go to sleep for a few hours so I can calm down. Little did I know that since Neko couldn't keep me company because she was at work, she told Neil about this, who would proceed to idiotically make a group chat with me, him, Carmen, and Jar, and tell them I said that the coda while I was having a breakdown. Right in the middle of this, I was told about this being set in Carmen's place.
Yo, new Septie ammo just dropped. I don't think that is something to celebrate.
So, are we just gonna ignore the fact that you outright got called out for outright calling people to end my career? Because that's what you did. Address the screenshot, Septie. Was I acting immature? Maybe. But I had the right to call them out on figuring out the true plan all along.
This right here proves it, once and for all, that Carmen only cares about catching me in a bad moment so she can call me a liar.
You literally got called out for having people wanting to end my career. How else am I supposed to take that? Stop ignoring your actions and confront them.
How does that prove I'm a liar? Because according to her, Neil doesn't lie.
Yeah. And when he does lie, he cuts himself. I think he said it's some cultural thing? I don't know. I doubt he'd be willing to lose blood over this situation, given how he was openly neutral from the start, and has helped you more than he has helped me. Why would Nil lie? For what reason? Why would he need to when he has helped you more than me and actively stayed neutral?
That's seriously all the evidence she needs. Neil's word. But little did she know, Neil actually has brain damage.
That doesn't prove anything.
His memory is just messed up. He remembered wrong.
This quote doesn't prove shit. He's referring to flagging, not taking someone down. And even then, you still threatened to end your life over someone not choosing you.
He thought I was calling for people to end Carmen's channel and that I wanted to ruin her career myself. But after he went back to check, he realized I never said or done such a thing.
Bet you didn't see that one coming, huh?
What I did say was, I wish she loses it someday, because that's what she deserves.
Really? Because Nil said he confused you with someone else. You two have completely different stories.
Neil corrected this mistake on her server before leaving. Then what is this community post, you may wonder? There is Carmen Ryder caught lying in 4K.
I didn't lie. I literally have proof.
I literally just showed evidence of Neil confirming that he was wrong about the claim he made. So at this point, Carmen knew it wasn't true, yet she proceeded to lie to her audience. So congratulations, Carmen. You were so desperate to find anything you can to throw at me, but you only managed to hurt yourself in the process.
As if you're not doing the exact thing. You're bringing up random comments Senzu made, the Bella stuff, all that didn't need to be brought up, but you did it anyways because you've been calling to cancel me for a while. So I brought up your friend's shit, so you know exactly how I feel.
Thank you for showing just how much of a selfish, manipulative, lying sociopath egomaniac you really are. This wouldn't have been possible without your blatant stupidity. After she tried to slander me, it really hit the nerve inside me. To the point where once again, I decided I've had enough. And so I wrote a long chain tweet that served as a long expose and a suicide note. The tweet is now deleted because Carmen wanted to cover up her tracks, so she told people to flag down my Twitter saying it contains mentions of suicide.
Half true. Yes, I did try to get people to report you for self-harm, since you were trying to end your life. But I also made a post in every server I modded in that you were in trouble and to get your info to report you to authorities to make sure you were okay. I even told Nil you were in trouble. Stop fucking lying. I did try to save you, ungrateful bastard.
So after my failed attempt, I made a follow-up post. After learning about Carmen calling my failed attempt a blatant lie with no evidence.
That, on the other hand, is a blatant lie. I was responding to this tweet, where you said I was trying to get you banned. That was the blatant lie.
And once I've heard she tried to flag down my Twitter for expressing suicidal ideation just to cover her tracks, and then tried to save face by telling people to quote, call authorities to my location.
Yeah, I did what I could to not have you dead. What the fuck else did you want me to do?
Just to make it look like she did something to preserve a life, I told her to leave me alone. Stop trying to turn me against my friends and supporters. Stop trying to flag down posts and videos calling her out. Stop trying to play the victim and get lost.
And I did, as seen here.
Do as she promised and leave the internet for a year or so and try to redeem herself.
Yeah, our deal was long since over since that one post by Lyo, so I just left you alone. Continued as normal.
What did she do instead?
I left you alone.
Instead, she played the victim card, getting offended because I'm asking to be left alone after what I did to her and her friends.
No. I left you alone. You wanted me to leave you alone, so I did, and I continued with normal content. Unless you did something that warranted a response, like this video, I was gonna leave you alone, and maybe do a video on this situation in the future in hindsight. But no, I'm the bad guy for doing what you asked and announcing it in a community post apparently.
I don't know what I quote-unquote did, and I don't care. Fuck you and your friends. The evidence speaks for itself that you're just a bunch of malicious, manipulative, sociopathic freaks. What do I care if my failed attempts made you uncomfortable? You are to blame here for any of this happening, not me. Not only that, but Carmen also deleted her non-apology made to me.
Unlisted, not deleted. That was a part of the whole leaving you alone thing. The rest of the video is just another ad for their services and an unfunny meme from some game no one played. So, final words. Well, I do want to make it clear that I'm not gonna try to look like the good guy here. I've done things in this situation that are not okay at all. But at the same time, that does not make the actions of others right, and I want to defend myself from those claims. I want to make an actual full story video at some point, but that might take a bit. And given how I'm covering everyone who blindly believed Coda, that probably won't even be needed. Yep, I'm coming for you guys too. Well, until that time comes, have a good night, gamers, and hopefully, normalcy will return soon.
So am I. So am I. So am I.
Oh, and if you're here to get mad over the thumbnail, Septie made rape joke memes involving me and Coda as well, so yeah. Don't be a hypocrite.
Is this the part where we start fucking?
Fucking? I want to do some fucking!